Library Families. It's Kathleen here for another story time with you all. It is the holiday season, so I thought today we would do some Christmas books, some holiday books, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday. I hope you're ordering lots of books from us. You could call us and order a book bundle and we just gather up a bunch of books. Today we're going to do two books by Jan Brett. This one is called Who's That Knocking on Christmas Eve? Look at that bear. And this one's called Home for Christmas. So we'll read both of these and then we have a fun craft afterwards. What I really like about these books is they've got these funny trolls. So can you see these trolls? They're like little people that are mischievous. They like to get into trouble. So we'll read these books and then we'll have a little troll craft. All right, Who's That Knocking on Christmas Eve by Jan Brett. She did the illustrations and the story, and we have to thank, who is her publisher? Putnam & Sons. Thanks for letting me read this to my friends. Oh, look at this beautiful icy snow scene. I see some caribou or reindeer. I see some kind of home. I see northern lights. These happen in the sky in the north. Maybe you've seen them here in Bozeman. They happen occasionally. Here we go. Let's start with our story. High above the Arctic Circle in the land of ice and snow, the northern lights shimmer in the night like a curtain of color hanging from the sky. Let's see. There we go. The air is so crisp and clean in the northern place that one Christmas Eve long ago, a boy from Finnmark on his way to Oslo with his ice bear could see smoke curling up from a hut far in the distance. He was cold and hungry, so he headed toward it. Far off in another direction, someone else smelled the smoke, and even though he couldn't see it, he raced off to tell the others. Look at that. Kind of a fun thing about Jan Brett books is she has another little bit of a preview of the story happening or what had just happened. So these little side things you can see. I see a little troll. Look at that. That might be a preview of what's to come. Oh, look at that beautiful cabin. As the boy from Finnmark made his way towards the hut, Curie was inside feeding the fire that made the smoke that roasted and baked the fine food. Delicious sausage and fish and tasty buns and cakes were all laid out. Can you see in there? Yeah. Sweet porridge bubbled over the fire and apple cider stayed cool on the windowsill. So why did Curie jump at every creak in the sod now? And why did she run to the window when an icicle fell into the snow? I wonder. It was because in years past on Christmas Eve, trolls came when they smelled the delicious aromas coming from the hut. They would pound on the door until it burst open, and they wouldn't leave until they had eaten up every bit of the Christmas Eve meal. Let's see, I don't see any trolls yet. I see the boy from Oslo. He might be coming for a visit. No troll invasion this year, Curie's father had said. I'm going up to the mountain to watch and chase them away. And off he had gone to stop the trouble before it began. So that's Curie's father. He's going high on the mountain to watch for those trolls so they don't ruin their Christmas Eve dinner. This must be inside. So this year, Curie was alone in the hut when she heard a soft sound at the door. Knockety knock knock. Someone was out there, but surely it was too polite of a knock for it to be a troll. Curie went to the door and peeked out. Okay, she's got a lovely fire going. Yeah. Did you notice her face? Look at that expression. Does she look curious, surprised? She's wondering who is at that door. Oh, it's the boy from Finnmark. There was the boy from Finnmark with his ice bear. "Please let me inside to warm up," he said. "I'm on my way south to show off my bear for the townsfolk of Oslo. I've many frosty miles behind me and many more to go." "Come in," Kiri said. "But I have to warn you that in years past, our house has been invaded by a pack of hungry trolls." "Oh, trolls would be a welcome adventure," the boy said. So he came in, and the ice bear crawled under the warm stove and fell asleep. You can see there's a preview of that. And I forgot, here she is looking through the door to see who's knocking at the door. Maybe they have a little peephole. Uh-oh. Do you see what I see? Do you see these things? Those are troll tails. Let's see what our preview is. There's the dad going up the hill to look for the trolls. Here's what's to come. Looks like he's pushing a chest somewhere. Let's see what's going on. Kiri and the boy had just settled down in front of the fire when they heard, not so softly this time, knockety knock, knock, knock. "There's no one home," the boy called out. He was certain it was the trolls. So he pushed the big chest in front of the door. We saw that, didn't we? He's trying to barricade or block the door. When all was quiet, Kiri and the boy sat down in front of the fire again. Kiri got to thinking, "I wonder if the porridge is creamy enough," and she ladled a bit of it into the bowls for each of them. They had just raised their bowls when they heard a loud knockety knock knock. It was as if someone was pounding on the door with a big rock. "No one's home," the boy from Finnmark shouted, and he ran to lock all the windows. There's the dad. He's still looking in his little scope there, looking for the trolls. He doesn't realize they're down at his house. Here's a preview. Oh yeah, I see a little bit of trolls under there. Oh my goodness, here's the first good look at these trolls. Can you see how funny they look? They've got funny noses and funny fingers. Oh, they look like such funny. Look, that looks like a grandma troll. And they are trying to eat that food. It was quiet again. But the delicious smells wafted around the hut. Kiri got to thinking, is the sausage salty enough? She took a piece for herself and gave one to the boy. They had just raised their forks when they heard a thunderous knockety knock knock. The hut shook and they heard a loud crack. It was the cellar trap door splintering open. Kiri and the boy ran into the animal shed and pulled the door shut just as a torrent of noisy trolls bursted up from the cellar. So do you see this little piece of wood? It's a door that closes in the floor. They're coming up through it from underneath. Oh, here they are, getting into all the food. There's that bear again. What's on over here? Looks like they're looking in the window. I think we missed something. We did, look, we missed this. Looks like they're going out the door. They're so scared of those trolls. And then here they are looking in the window, watching what's going on inside. Oh, there were bat-eared trolls, there were bug-nosed trolls, and each troll was wilder and more raucous than the one before. They munched and grunted, shrieked and cackled, splashed the cider and crammed themselves with Christmas cakes. Get a little closer view of that. Then when they were through stuffing themselves, they tumbled about, pinching each other and stomping on one another's toes and tweaking their long snouts, which is how trolls have a good time. Uh-oh, look at here. Okay, here's those silly trolls. Now look at him. There's a troll and he's got something. And here they are watching through the window. Here we go. But through the ruckus and din, the littlest troll spied the ice bear under the stove. He took a hot morsel of sausage he had been roasting in the fire and screeched, "Have a bit of sausage, Kitty." And he poked the sleeping bear's nose with it. Look how hot it is right from the oven. That's gonna burn. Oh boy, and did that upset the bear? Look at how angry he is. Oh my goodness. Look at those trolls, they're trying to get away. The ice bear leapt up with a tremendous roar. His nose burning terribly. Growling, he chased the little troll and all the big trolls around the table, up the walls, and out the windows. "Scratch them, Kitty!" I think the boy is yelling that. I'm not sure why they call him Kitty. Oh, look at this. They're happy. Those trolls aren't so happy. Look at them run. Oh my goodness. Aren't these great? Oh, who's that? It's the dad. He's coming home from the hill, I think. Kiri and the boy cheered as they watched the trolls scramble off through the ice and snow, howling. Up on the hill, Kiri's father heard the shouts, so he raced down the hill on his skis. There he goes. Oh, here's the dad running into all the trolls. There's that snow bear. What's he eating? He looks like he's eating something. When he saw the trolls, Kiri's father could tell in an instant that they wanted to be as far away from that little hut as they could be. "Goodbye, trolls," he shouted as they disappeared up the mountain, and he skied home. "What a fine bear you have," he told the boy from Finnmark. "Thank you for scaring away those pesky trolls. You must come back next year for a real Christmas Eve feast on your way home from Oslo." And they all sat down for some porridge. Look at that. Oh, there's Kiri skiing, and she's got a sleigh full of firewood, it looks like. There's some good food. There's the boy from Oslo. Let's see what this is about. And a troll, of course. A year later, Kiri was on the mountain gathering wood to make the fire to cook their dinner for Christmas Eve when the littlest troll popped out from behind a snowbank. "Missy," he called in a high, crackly voice, "do you still have that kitty that sleeps under the stove?" "Oh, yes," Kiri said. "Only she's grown up into a big cat now, and she has several kittens, all larger and fiercer than herself." I wonder what that... Look at that. That troll is running away as fast as she can. "Ah," he screeched, "then we won't be visiting your hut on Christmas Eve." And he disappeared into a huge snowbank. Snowdrift. All right, let's move on to our next book, Jan Brett's Home for Christmas. There's more trolls in here. Can't wait to see what kind of mischief they're getting in. Oh, look at this beautiful troll's house. Isn't that fun? Oh, wish I lived in that. Here we go. Oh, this first page, he's riding a pig. Oh, that is so silly. Rollo was a wild troll, a very wild troll, always racing off, his scruffy troll tail bouncing around behind him. Trolls' tails will drop off one day, but only if a troll is kind, helpful, and does his chores. Rollo's little sister had lost hers long ago, but Rollo didn't care one bit. He just did whatever he wanted. Now remember, with Jan Brett's books, you can see things that are coming in the next picture, in the next part of the story. So let's start with this picture. Rollo never made his bed for Mama Troll. He never chopped wood for Papa Troll. He never helped little sister collect eggs. One morning when they all asked for his help, Rollo had enough. "No, no, no," he whooped. And he grabbed his rucksack, leapt over their heads, and ran towards the mountains. Let's see, where is he? There he goes. Off he runs. And they're like, "Wait." Mama Troll looked at Paw Patrol and shook her head. "The chances of Rollo losing his tail are mighty slim," she said. Oh, let's see. There's something to come. Oh, I think that's what's happening. The family is back home missing him. And then here he is. Is he up in an owl nest? Oh, and that's what's to come. Let's see. Rollo wanted, excuse me. Got it. Rollo walked along, getting hungry and tired. Where would he spend the night? He spied an owl's nest up in a tree. "Hurrah!" Rollo shouted. "It's up this tree for me." He climbed up. Get that nice and close for you. He climbed up and snuggled down among the owlets, baby owls, as Mother Owl looked on. When the little birds opened their mouths wide, Rollo opened his too. "Yum, free food," he thought. Sleepy and full, he dozed off, tucked under Mother Owl's warm, fluffy feathers. "No bed to make here," he mumbled. Do you think that Owl Mother likes him being in there? I can tell by her expression she does not. And he looks rather startled. Here's what's happening back at home. The sister is gathering eggs. Here's what's to come, a bear. Okay, let's see. But this lazy life didn't last long. The owlets grew fast and the tent got crowded. They spent hours flapping their wings until the day came for the owlets to fly away. Mother Owl glared at Rollo, but he didn't move, so she bumped him out of the nest. "Can't you see I don't have wings?" Rollo screeched. Oh, she thinks he needs to fly, doesn't she? Oh, look at this. He found a bear family. Let's see what's happening back home. Oh, the mom's working with the pig. Oh, something about a bee is coming in our story. Okay, Rollo shook the feathers out of his hair and strode through the forest, leaping and chasing field mice as he went. He hadn't gone far when he spotted Mother Bear, watching her two cubs rolling around and roughhousing in the grass. Rollo dove in, cuffing the cubs and tickling their noses. Mother Bear didn't care. Now she had 3 naughty creatures to watch over instead of 2. That night, Rollo followed the bears to their mossy cave and fell asleep curled up with the bear cubs, mumbling, "No wood to cut here." A mumble is more like, "No wood to cut here," like he was falling asleep. Oh, here's those bees that we saw coming back at home. The mother and father, they're missing him. There's his little shirt. And to come, ooh, it looks like an otter with a fish, do you think? I think so. As the days passed, it got harder for Rollo to keep up with the bears. They had tough paws and sharp claws to help them scramble over rocks and climb trees to look for food. Then at the end of summer, Mother Bear spotted a hive. She opened it up with a big swipe of her paw and delicious honey gushed out. What do you think the troll's gonna do about that? Why is he diving into that water? You see? Why would a boy dive into water? I think he's hiding from those, he's trying to get away from those bees. It had been a long time since Rollo had tasted anything so sweet. He shoved the baby bear aside. Big mistake! The angry bees aimed their stingers at him. Rollo threw himself into a nearby pool and dove underwater. That must be where our otter friend. Oh my goodness, look at that. That looks like fun. An otter family. Rollo floated up, the taste of honey still in his mouth. Oh, I wish I had some of little sister's sweet nose print cookies. Maybe I should go home, he thought, but he saw a gang of otters playing on a waterfall. Wait for me, he cried as he scrambled out, threw off his wet clothes and dove back in to slide down the waterfall. This is the life for me. Oh, I forgot to preview what's happening next. Looks like the ice is breaking or something with that otter. The weather must have changed. All right, here's the mom back at home. She's looking out the window. Here's our Rollo. He's putting on some boots. And here's what's to come. That looks like a bobcat. One morning, Rollo awoke to find a thin skim of ice on his pool. Otter didn't give it any mind, but Rollo could not stop shivering. He put on his clothes, stuffed his boots with moss, and waved goodbye and went away. It's getting too cold to live like an otter. I see the weather is changing. Back home. And, I think that's a moose. And let's see what's happening currently. Okay. It was snowing when Rollo met up with his new friend, who was as wild as he was. He liked to play pounce and hide and seek. So did Rollo. While they were romping in the snow, little sister was at home feeding his hedgehog. Rollo may be gone for now, she said, but we miss him every day. Oh, look at that. He's in some deep snow. It got colder and colder. The lingonberries froze and food was harder to find. One afternoon, Rollo felt lynx eyes staring at him in a hungry way. It was time to move on. Oh, I thought that was a bobcat, so that's a lynx cat. Oh, who's next? Look at the moose. There's a whole family. Oh, we're gonna see what's happening back at home. Oh, he's making a sled. He's riding Rollo on it. I think he's making that for a present. And there's our moose family. All right. The drifts got deeper. Rollo's nose was turning blue when he noticed moose tracks, both big and little. He followed them up the mountainside to a meadow where he saw Father Moose, Mother Moose, and their calf standing in the snow. Hi-ho, he called, and pranced over to them. Rollo made friends right away. He found berries and lichen under the snow where Father Moose had scraped away the ice with his hooves. He ate and ate while the moose calf drank some warm milk from Mother Moose. Oh my goodness. All right, back home, looks like she's picking berries or making something. And then, the moose is running away in the future. And let's see. Rollo spent the night with the moose family. The next morning, he was so happy to be with them that he jumped up expecting a great big hug from Mother Moose, just the way his mother hugged him at home. But Mother Moose was not used to a cold, pointy troll nose pointing into her soft, warm nose. She tossed her head and galloped off, leaving Rollo splattered in the snow. All right. Oh, what's happening? Oh, they've got some berries in a bowl. That looks like a little cozy house. That looks like his cozy house. That night, Rollo was riding along on Father Moose's antlers when the antlers began to sway. Oh no, Rollo shouted, holding on tight. Winter is when moose shed their antlers. And he found himself tumbling down, landing in a snowdrift. He was brushing snow off of his eyes when he smelled the smoke from a wood fire. That's coming from my house. He imagined the warm fire inside, the good food, and his soft bed. Most of all, he remembered Mama and Papa's big hugs and little sisters laughing at his jokes. He began to sniffle and cry. Oh, poor Rollo. Oh my goodness, he's using that antler as a sled. There's his mom and dad. There is the future. Oh, look at that. As Rollo's sobs got louder, the antlers began to rock back and forth on the slippery snow. It started sliding down the mountains faster and faster, bouncing over icy boulders and skidding across frozen rivers. It was an antler toboggan. Rollo spotted his little house down in the valley, and his sobs turned to whoops of joy. A whoop is like a woohoo. Oh, it looks like they're gathering a Christmas tree, the little hog, and there's a cat waiting at the door, and Future, looks like he kind of stumbled in the snow. Let's see. Rollo's family was on their way home with their Christmas tree when they heard whoops echoing down the mountain. They knew in an instant that Rollo had come home. They rushed to meet him as fast as they could. There he is. Wow, look at that Christmas. There's the mom and the beautiful tree and the sister and the dad and Rollo lighting some candles. Oh, there's the cat again. That's just fun to look at, isn't it? Let's look. Oh, there's their decorations they were making and their beautiful tree. And oh, just love that. Okay, on Christmas Eve, the troll family gathered to light the holiday candles. Mama, Papa, and little sister looked around proudly at the beds Rollo had made, the wood he had chopped, and the cookies little sister had baked with the eggs he had gathered. Papa Troll grinned as Rollo leaned forward to light a candle. "Have you lost something, Rollo?" he asked. Rollo just smiled. "I'm home for Christmas," he caroled. "For the best Christmas ever," little sister sang. The cat just purred. He had a new toy. What's the cat toy? Looks like oh, can you see what the toy is? It's Rollo's tail. It fell off because he did something kind. Took him a while, didn't it? Here they are. After the feast, the troll family sat by the fire, home for Christmas all together, singing and telling stories long into the night. Oh, and the pig's there too. I wonder where that cat is. I don't see the cat. Oh, that's fun. That was home for Christmas. I've got a craft for you. This is a little page of those Christmas trolls, and you can dress them. So what you can do is cut out very carefully these little pieces of clothing and dress them on the trolls. If you really like it, you could glue them down. So families can request this little craft to be put in with their book bundle, or you can just call and say, "I just want the craft, but we hope you'll get some books too." You call us on the phone and we gather books for you. You can ask for specific titles, or you can ask for, I have a 4-year-old and he loves trucks, and we'll gather those up. I hope you have a wonderful, happy holiday, and hopefully we'll see you in the new year. Bye-bye.